We're back at it again after an absolutely amazing run with our Canadian music series.
We just wanted to start by saying and giving out a huge thank you to everyone who watched, commented, and shared those videos, especially our friends up north in Canada.
Over 80,000 total views and nearly 2,000 comments.
Wow.
That's just incredible. And we've had some amazing discussions in the comments, and we truly appreciate every single one of you.
But as much as we love talking about Canadian rock and music, we don't want to be typecast as just the Canada guys. So Graybeard's Nation has always been about the music we love, no matter where it's from. And with Record Store Day right around the corner, it's time to shift gears just a little bit.
Let's talk about Record Store Day. If you're watching this, you probably already know about it. But for those of you who don't, RSD started back in 2008 as a way to celebrate independent record store. And it's grown into this massive worldwide event with exclusive releases, live performances, and some seriously sought-after vinyl drops.
And we have identified some of our favorites: limited pressings, special releases, live albums. There's always something there for every type of collector.
I found the list prices, Lair, so this way at the end, we can actually add up how much we're going to be in the hole after this Record Store Day. These are what we kind of recommend, but we're also going to maybe pick a few out of these that we absolutely must have. Starting off here with Air.
The group Air, which I believe is just two guys, one of their albums, Le Voyage dans the Lune, I'm probably mispronouncing that terribly.
Yeah, get ready, the comments are going to blow up.
The group Air did a soundtrack to that, and that was the first thing I ever listened to by Air. It actually is really cool. You could go on YouTube and watch the very short movie with Air providing the music. It's very much worthwhile. And because of that, I have listened to some of their other music, and I got to tell you, it's not bad at all.
Do you think that this is one that you would pick up on Record Store Day, Larry?
Well, considering it says it's live and along with demos don't excite me. Live sometimes does. I might pick it up. Yeah, depending on how my list goes and progresses, that's something I might pick up. Yep.
All right, cool. And here's Bill Evans. This is live in Finland.
Yeah.
2 LP set, an RSD exclusive, which essentially means that ultimately this will not get released again, but it might get released on CD or other formats. But in LP, as far as Record Store Day, it's an exclusive. So what about this one? Do you know anything about this one?
Well, I'll tell you, Todd, there's a couple groups that I really feel have not had their fair representation on Record Store Day. The Doors, The Grateful Dead, and Bill Evans.
You never see them. It just never comes up.
And I think what I would say about the Bill Evans, I really need to know more about this recording itself and possibly even wait until I hear a first review on the recording. If the recording is good, really good, I'm absolutely in.
Yeah, I agree. I know I'm with you on that. Larry, would this be one that you would want to pick up?
Yep.
Potentially? Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact, like you said, Todd, that it's an exclusive adds to it, puts it a little higher on my want list.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing. I think I'm going to do the exact same thing here. All right. Now there's Black Sabbath, The Eternal Idol. Not one of Black Sabbath's greatest albums, to be honest with you.
No.
Yeah, and this is what is this one? I think it's an RSD first here. This means that obviously it's going to be released again at some point, or can be. Rhino is obviously very famous. That's the label for releasing lots of things, and 6,000 copies is, again, I think it's a pretty big run for The Eternal Idol. This one actually, who's the vocalist on here? I don't think it's obviously.
The only person I think I know on this album is Tony Iommi, the guitarist. I think like Bev Bevan from Electric Light Orchestra helps out with some percussion.
You know what? I'm going to say no to this Black Sabbath release.
Yeah, I'm a no also.
Yeah,
hard pass.
All right, let's look here at Blue Cheer. Now I know a little bit about Blue Cheer. This is a pretty good group, Blue Cheer. It's kind of a psych rock thing. This one here is final live performance, Summertime Blues. I think this is really it's obviously a remake of Summertime Blues cover. From 2008, cover songs in the 90s. I mean, cover songs, and
Right.
I'm not huge.
Right.
It's Easy Rider, Piece of My Heart, Janis Joplin. I'm sure it's the Easy Rider, Jimi Hendrix, right?
Yeah.
Roadhouse, Foxy Lady.
Yeah, I'm not usually a cover songs kind of guy, unless it's an exceptional, exception to what I feel is just a money grab for cover songs. We're going to talk real briefly about Tesla and their record store day offering later, which is nothing but covers. Yeah, I'm a hard pass on Blue Cheer here.
Yeah, me too. All right, Charles Mingus. Mingus at Monterey. This is an RSD first, though, so they're potentially going to re-release this at some point. It's not an exclusive.
Charles Mingus is a legendary bass player, and almost everything that is released by him is worthwhile. And depending on what the price is, I may have to wait till it's released later on, probably cheaper.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on this as well. Again, it's an RSD first, so there's potentially more to come on that. What about in Argentina and Buenos Aires concert?
Yeah, once again, I don't know a lot about that specific concert in particular. And once again, I'm going to have to wait and see what the price is for this. Was this also a first, or was this
This was an exclusive. Yeah, this one here
was an exclusive. So this may be something that I'll pick up then.
Were you thinking yes or no or wait?
I wanted to see what the price is for that 3 album.
So let's put you as a possible. I'm probably not going to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
It is 3 LPs, so probably the price is going to be interesting. Speaking of great Canadian music and one of your favorites, Cowboy Junkies here.
Yeah, they're a family band that has been playing together now for over 40 years. They actually came out with their debut. I think it was the same week that Blue Rodeo came out with their debut. These guys are a little more low-key, mellow, and this is something that I probably don't need to pick up on record store day right away. But once again, as soon as I hear something from it, that'll tell me, do I need to pick it up? Do I want to pick it up? And how fast do I want to jump on it? I'm going to wait on it.
All right. It is exclusive too.
Well, now that I look at it, not only is it an exclusive, there's only 1,400 of them coming out. I guess, it's only one LP. If I can get my hands on it, I'll probably buy it.
All right. Let's put you down for that one.
David Fathead Newman and Ellis Marsalis, of course, Wynton Marsalis' father. This is a must-have. However, it's a record store first. So I don't know that it's a must-have that day. This is definitely something I want to get. I just don't know how much I want to pay for it if I can get it cheaper later on. You just go out and buy anything by David Fathead Newman, and you're going to have a winner of an album.
All right.
But when you add Ellis Marsalis into it, that just puts it over into, if you're a jazz fan, this is something that's going to be very worthwhile.
So it's on Steady Boy Records, whatever that is. Okay, so 950 of them.
Yeah.
It's weird. They put out 950, but obviously as a first, maybe they're going to put
as a first. Yeah, exactly.
So this one you're going to wait on, Larry?
I'm probably going to wait on it. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch that. All right, so being a huge Judas Priest fan, and knowing that in 1982 through 1984, one of the first concerts I ever went to as a kid. I mean, obviously, I went to my very first concert was Van Halen in their Van Halen 1 tour, but I went to Judas Priest probably my third, maybe fourth concert in, and after the concert I couldn't hear for like 2 or 3 days. But this is an RSD exclusive. Previously only available on CD. And it looks like it was part of a box set, but this is the first time that they're pulling it out onto vinyl. I am in on this for sure. What about you, Lair? I know you're not a huge Judas Priest fan, but
I'm not. Can you go back? Did they have the cuts?
No, they actually, yeah, I saw that back at, let me just go back in here. So they didn't.
Yeah.
But, you know, the CD is out there, so I'm sure, let's see, it's part of the 50.
We could probably hunt that down, right?
Yeah. Recorded at, yeah, it doesn't say, but I'm sure it's all there, you know, probably Screaming for Vengeance and, you know, all some of their earlier stuff. Yeah, which is, you know, I love all that. So I'm definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll take a look at it. I'm definitely not going to commit to that one right now, but I'll keep my eye on it. It is an exclusive.
Yeah.
And I do like some Judas Priest a lot.
This one's weird because it is a limited run, which basically means that they're probably only going to put it out in certain areas. We may not see it. We may. Yeah. I don't know what the criteria is for that.
Regional focus, right?
Yeah. 1,000 of them. This is it's a good group. You know, it's kind of they call it prog rock, but I'm going to call it prog pop rock.
So I don't know really much about these guys at all. You know, if any of our watchers or listeners have any thoughts on them, throw them in the comments and clue us in. Yeah,
I agree. And let's see, it's cut at Abbey Road Studios. You know, this might be, I don't know. I don't want to talk myself into an expensive record, but it's only one LP.
Yeah.
And it's the Remember the Future. All right, whatever. I might pull the trigger on this one. I don't know. Cooder. This is the Main Point Live 1972. It's an RSD exclusive on Rhino. Okay. What are your thoughts on this one, Larry?
So I don't have many thoughts on this. I will tell you that Cooder is one of those underrated guitarists in rock and roll history. He's done a lot of things and a lot of writing, songwriting behind the scenes for soundtrack movies and for other artists where he doesn't really go out in the forefront. So this would be interesting to see if it's any good. I'm probably not going to have this in my pile, but it's something I'll keep an eye on after Record Store Day and see how good it is, and then play it by ear then. You know, Todd, the one interesting thing here is it was recorded at the Main Point in Bryn Mawr, PA. Mm-hmm. Bryn Mawr, PA is very special to me because Bryn Mawr, PA had a stereo store when I was growing up called Bryn Mawr Stereo. And I went into Bryn Mawr Stereo looking for a pair of speakers one day, and they played an album to show off their speakers by a group called Flim and the BBs. And I was like, wow, this is great. This sounds unbelievable. What is this? They told me what it was, and it was only available on CD, on compact disc. And I didn't have a CD player. So I went out, bought the CD without having a CD player, and then I went back to Bryn Mawr Stereo and bought a CD player that day instead of speakers. It's kind of interesting.
What year was that? I mean, that was when CDs were first coming out?
Yes, and I was not on the bandwagon right away until I visited this store in Bryn Mawr looking for speakers.
Cool there. No, good story. Good story.
Yep.
All right, so with that one, we're going to wait. I might just go ahead and just mark that one.
Yep.
You know, RSD exclusive. Rhino puts out good releases. You know, Saxon, great heavy metal band there. This is their Wheels of Steel album. I guess 45th anniversary edition. Obviously, this has been put out before. It's a seminal album, Blair, and includes a bonus live album. This must be the second record in there. Recording at Donington Monsters of Rock, 1980.
I like that. That's a big rock and roll festival. A lot of good groups have played there, including Rainbow, and that almost, to me, if you're a Saxon fan, that's almost enough reason to try to get your hands on this puppy.
Yeah, and it is an exclusive. Oh well, it's a limited run.
Okay.
It's a BMG, so obviously it was in their BMG vault or something. Yeah.
If it's BMG, does that mean if you buy 13, you get one free for a penny, all for a penny? Or...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know, it's just, we laugh about that. You know, Larry, that going back and we think back on that, and you know how cheap records were back in the day, and we just kind of took it for granted. Now some of these records, and I think once you see the list prices, you're going to be shocked. some of the records are worth, I wouldn't say worth, but they cost, upwards of 30, in some case $40. I'm thinking, damn, I'll just maybe get an OG copy at the flea market.
No kidding. Absolutely, Todd. Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about, like you said, we've talked about this many times. Every time we talk about a record store day, we talk about it briefly, but at some point, these record companies are going to price themselves out, and CD sales are already starting to pick up a little more. And, when it comes down to paying $39 for a piece of vinyl or $12 for a CD, you got to have a good reason to pay $39. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm cheap. I'll pay the $12.
Right. Hey, listen, okay. If you don't mind, I want to mention something. It's taken us, this is kind of like a break in the action here.
Yeah.
But, we talked, and I'm sure there's a lot of our Canadian watchers probably, here. Blue Rodeo has a documentary that was released recently. And I forget the name off the top of my head. Todd, you'll probably know on the top of my head the name of CBC or something like that.
Yeah, that's the Canadian.
Is that what it is? CBC?
Yeah.
So
CBC.
They released a documentary called Lost Together about Blue Rodeo, which is getting fantastic reviews. But if you're in the U.S., you don't have really an ability to watch it. So if any of our watchers are Canadian and have the ability or have seen it, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Please let us know your thoughts on that documentary about Blue Rodeo if you can.
How do you feel about Sun Ra? I mean, it's huge.
I don't know anything about Sun Ra. I haven't heard anything by Sun Ra, but it looked to me that they were both record store day firsts.
Yep.
And I think this one that you clicked, I think it's 6 albums.
Yeah,
so to me, you got to be really into Sun Ra to pull the trigger on this puppy. I'm sure there's some people out there, that will and would, but I'm not one of those guys.
Right. Yeah, me neither. I'm going to pass on that. And the on this other one too, Stray Voltage.
Sure.
Something I'm going to do. All right, Larry, sweet.
Hey, it's one of my guilty pleasures. I'm a big Sweet fan, and Desolation Boulevard is probably one of their top 3 albums in my opinion by them. Give Us a Wink is my favorite, but Desolation Boulevard's right up there. Sweet did something with their Level-Headed album and released a demos version and a live version of their rehearsals, and it was a fantastic recording. This looks like something similar to that. I will tell you, and I'll actually show you, this is the Sweet Ballroom Blitz live in Berlin 1976, and one of those cuts is Ballroom Blitz, the side A, cut number 1. But luckily, the rest of the album is not from that concert. So this is something that I am definitely going to make every attempt to procure and see how it is.
All right, yeah, and me too, Larry. I also am a Sweet fan, and when we first met, many years ago, and started talking a lot about music, we immediately were like, we're both Sweet fans, so this is great.
Yeah,
I love the album Desolation Boulevard here. Obviously these are live. This is great. And look at this. This is actually from the guitarist Andy Scott's tape archive. So this is truly a first run.
And if you take a look at the cuts here, Ballroom Blitz is a wonderful song. The 16s is an excellent song. Pat Benatar actually covered that on her debut album. Lady Starlight is an awesome cut. Fox on the Run was not my first Sweet song that I liked. Little Willie was.
Yeah, mine
but
too.
For the most part, I did not really dig a lot of the glam of the Sweet early in their career. I liked when they started getting harder rocking. And when you listen to AC/DC, Into the Night, Set Me Free, that's the stuff that's really, really good and will surprise a lot of people that maybe are not intimately familiar with a lot of those cuts.
Yeah, so I think we're both in on Desolation Boulevard.
Absolutely.
Let me go ahead and mark that one off. And 1,900 of them, RSD exclusive.
Yeah, it's not
Larry
a
and
lot.
I have first pick, so don't steal them from us.
That's right.
All right. So, Larry, you brought this up earlier in the intro part here.
Yeah.
Reel to Reel, Volume 2 of Tesla. Yeah.
And, if you just bought the Reel to Reel 1 or Reel to Reel 2 or both of them, are these songs, number one, great songs? Yes. Number two, excellent renditions of those songs? Yes. But number three, wouldn't you just rather listen to the original bands play these great songs? To me, yes.
Yeah. I agree.
Money grab.
It is a money grab. And even and you actually talked me out of buying Reel to Reel 1 and that was a few record store days ago.
Yeah.
And I was going to buy it, and you're like, Todd, this is actually on CD. And I said, I didn't know that. And I'm assuming this probably is as well. It doesn't say.
I mean, really, it's on CD because I had it. Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers. Who doesn't want to hear that by ZZ Top?
I'd rather
Not
hear
Tesla. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And look, we like Tesla for what it's worth. But it is what it is. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't think either of us are in on the Tesla Volume 2 Reel to Reel. How about the Blasters, Larry? I know you have some history with this.
Yeah, the Blasters. They were fronted by Dave Alvin, I think is his name, or Phil Alvin, somebody Alvin. Actually, it might have been Alvin Brothers. I don't know. But
yeah, it is a brother, Phil and Dave.
Look at that! I got it right. But anyway, they were also in a movie called Streets of Fire, which I liked a lot, and they performed in that movie. And if you're not sure if you like the Blasters, if you haven't heard a lot, go watch the movie Streets of Fire. You can see them performing this cut in there, and you could tell then they're very much one of those love 'em or hate 'em bands. A lot like people say Jethro Tull is. People that love the Blasters absolutely love almost everything they do, and people that don't like the Blasters really like. Look, I'm not a big Blasters fan. I know there's a lot of people that love them. I'm just not a big fan. But if you are, this is probably something that you want to get.
Yeah. And it's a hand-numbered set, limited to 1,000 copies, and it's 5 LPs, which is probably going to be a little high. It's an RSD limited run here. So are you in on that one? I'm not.
I'm not there. Nah.
Yeah. How about the Jayhawks?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that one.
The Jayhawks, I'm a huge fan of the Jayhawks, and because I'm a huge fan of the Jayhawks, I already have this album. I also have it on CD. Yeah. I don't need it again. I'm not sure. There's some bonus tracks, but look, I'm not just going to go buy this just because there's 4 bonus tracks.
Right.
It's a good album. I would tell you that, and look, if anybody watching is a Jayhawks fan, you probably have everything that they have put out, and you don't need anything unless you're a completist and you need those 4 bonus tracks. But I have almost everything the Jayhawks have done. I like it. I enjoy it all. But I don't need to spend money on something I already have, basically.
Yeah, and I'm going to take your advice and pass on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Rembrandts. This is a 2 LP set, another RSD first.
Right, and isn't this the band I think I mentioned, Todd? Didn't they do the song for the TV show Friends?
Oh yeah, I think they did. I'll Be There For You. There it is.
Yeah.
It's more than I'll Be There For You. It's another stellar album. I guess it hit number 23 on the Billboard Top 200. Okay.
Yeah.
30th anniversary. Time flies.
I'll be honest with you. Other than the Friends theme, I don't know anything else by them.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe somebody does. Throw it in the comments.
Yeah.
You can help us out here before April.
Sure.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Look, I'll Be There For You is a cool song. Not something that I listen to every day. So, it might not be my my cup of tea.
Right.
All right, here's another jazz dispensary. We love these. Some of them are good. Some of them are, okay. Mm-hmm. This one here actually looks really, really good, and it is a Record Store Day exclusive. 4,000 recordings, so that's good. Records. Let's see. Look at the folks on this one, Larry.
Yeah, Kenny Burrell, Coleman Hawkins, and Yusuf Lateef. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Coleman Hawkins, he's just one of my favorite sax players ever. And, Yusef Lateef, I have been told by so many people how good he is, and I don't have anything by him. So this is a good opportunity for me to dip in and see what he's about. Red Garland Trio is fantastic, as is Kenny Burrell. Yeah, this looks like a winner.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one as well. These are very popular, so a lot of people really jump on these. I'll mark myself as right along with you on this one, of course. And like all jazz dispensaries, for the most part, they're all compilation albums that are RSD exclusives. All right, the next one here, the Vince Guaraldi Trio.
Yeah, Vince Guaraldi is the Vince Guaraldi Trio has always been a top-notch jazz trio to listen to. Anytime you have the opportunity to listen to, it's a highlight. If you ever enjoy the Charlie Brown cartoons, which I do, the music has always played a big part in the cartoon, and there's a reason for that, because it was made by the Vince Guaraldi Trio, who were excellent. I have a live album by them, and it's absolutely fantastic. And as Schroeder from Peanuts will tell you, it rocks. It doesn't rock. It jazzes.
Lair, I mean, other than the Peanuts stuff, which obviously he is very popular for.
Yep.
Have you heard anything other than the Peanuts stuff? I'm gonna have to assume it's great, whatever it is.
Yeah, I have, and it is great. And I will also tell you that a lot of the cut, you'd be surprised, because most people think, well, Linus and Lucy, theme, everybody knows that. You would be surprised at how many of these cuts and you just don't realize you know. Yeah. You'll listen to them, you're like, oh my goodness, oh yeah, I know that. You'll be humming along to many of these cuts.
It sounds to me, Larry, like you're in.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right, he's in. I'm going to hold off on that one, Larry. I do have some Vince Guaraldi stuff for Christmas album, which I really enjoy, and we just break it out obviously once a year. So
sure,
it is what it is. All right, Wall of Voodoo. This one here, Wall of Voodoo is that one that did what is it? Mexican Radio. Remember that was kind of a hit back in the day. Kind of alternative music back in the day, in the 80s, mid 80s. I do think that Mexican Radio is a good song. I don't see it on here. I do see some unnecessary cussing in one of the titles that I won't repeat here. But I don't know any of these songs. But obviously it's a cool band. Yep. I'm probably just not going to get this unless I hear later on that somebody said, "Hey man, you just got to get it," because I guess I don't know them that well.
My opinion is I could just ditto that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Lair. It is time now to add up. I've just revealed the list prices. I didn't get the list prices for everything. I just kind of picked through the list prices for the ones that we kind of put an X near.
Sure.
And again, I think there should be a warning here that list prices are just that. It could be higher in your area. It could potentially be lower in your area. Probably
for sure.
But
And Todd, before you reveal that, one other thing, just for everybody, keep in mind that this list, the Record Store Day list, does fluctuate and change based on availability, manufacturing issues. So there are entries that will be coming off the list and others that may go on and replace things. So it's a good idea to keep your Record Store Day 2025 website handy, bookmarked, so you can go back and check for it periodically.
Yeah. So, Larry, let's see here. Everything that we checked off that you may potentially buy or certainly buy. Let's see what the damages are. All right. So, at the sum here, $297.93, Larry. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, I mean, we've spent more. You and I have spent more.
We certainly have.
Well, and of course, Louis, our friend on the Vinyl Latte channel.
He's a bad influence on us.
He is.
He's going to talk us into buying 5 more each.
He probably will. Yeah, so that's pretty steep, and then of course you got taxes, and then you got to drive there, and all the things, and of course we're doing it as we mentioned in the opening. We're doing this at a live stream, like we did on Black Friday, Record Store Day, Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving for 2024. We did a live stream event there, and it was great. We had a lot of fun. We interviewed some folks. We really got into it. This time, we got some more surprises for you. So, all right, Larry, that's what's going to cost you.
Hey, Todd, one thing just to mention about that. Phil's Music Exchange comes and operates Record Store Day on a first come first serve basis, because you know some places you call and reserve and you do this or do that. His is first come first serve. So people are usually there early, very early in the AM. How early do you think the first few people are there, Todd?
Well, Louis stayed overnight, so
yeah,
but he's a little, he's an exception, to the rule. But I would say 5 a.m. Between 4 and 5 a.m. That's when folks start camping out. All right, for me, Lair, these are the ones that I selected, and I came in less at $194.
Not bad at all.
No, not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Well, and some of these too, I might do a second take, and like you were saying earlier, they may or may not have them. It's just based on the availability too. So
that's right.
So both of us are in the area of $200 to $250 plus, then with the taxes and everything. So
that's right.
I mean, we may have to sell a pet or something to make up the difference. All right, Lair. So it was fun. And we always have fun with this. A little bit of trivia here. Not really trivia, but history, I guess. Is that this is our second one. And the channel has been, this April 1st will mark a 1-year anniversary of this channel. We started off with a different name, and now we are the Graybeards Nation. And we will stay the Graybeards Nation going forward.
That's right.
We've got some great things coming up, so we'll talk about those in a future video as we get closer. Our very first video was a trip to Charlotte, North Carolina, and to several record stores, including Noble Records. That was a lot of fun.
Now we want to hear from you. What are your favorite Record Store Day memories? What releases were you hoping to see this year and maybe the next Record Store Day?
Drop us a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you are as pumped up for Record Store Day as we are, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss our breakdown of the 2025 releases on Record Store Day Live
at Phil's Music Exchange in Wilson, North Carolina on April 12th, Record Store Day 2025 at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're in the area, come on out, hang with us in person. If not, join us on the live stream.
Well, that's it for now, folks. Thank you again for all your support, and we'll see you in the next one.
Keep that vinyl spinning.